How would you like to improve your health and keep your family safe? You're listening to the Healthy Home Hacks Podcast, where we firmly believe enjoying optimal health shouldn't be a luxury. Healthy Home Authorities and husband and wife team Ron and Lisa will help you create a home environment that will level up your health. It's time to hear from the experts. Listen in on honest conversations and gain the best tips and advice. If you're ready to dive in and improve your well-being and increase your energy, you're in the right place. All right, here are your hosts, bowel biologists, authors, media darlings, vicarious vegans, and avocado aficionados, Ron and Lisa Barris.
The best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now. That's a Chinese proverb. Welcome to today's show. In today's day and age, making green choices and living a healthier lifestyle is becoming less of a luxury and more of a norm. Researchers have even predicted a shift in future trends that non-green will not survive.
In nearly every purchasing decision you make, ask yourself if the short-term savings are really worth the long-term price tag on your health and the planet. Everything in our lifestyle, what we eat, touch, wear, and use to furnish our homes is linked to our health and well-being. Are genetics loading the gun and environment and lifestyle choices pulling the trigger, as many have previously thought? We have allowed a society with an innocent until proven guilty mentality in everything from pesticides and plastics to lead, tobacco, asbestos, and pharmaceuticals. In the US, chemicals are typically regulated after studies indicate potential harm exists and a regulatory review is conducted. With so many untested and unregulated harmful chemicals in the products that surround us, it's no wonder that people get sick.
Through the highways of cyberspace, information has become ubiquitous. You might think it's easy to make educated choices, but who really has the time in our fast-paced 21st century technology-thriving world to do all of the researching? Fear not. There is a green light at the end of the tunnel. Our guest today is here to inform and educate us on how to live a healthier lifestyle while empowering you. Michelle Harris is the host of Alive and Well, a national television series promoting wellness lifestyle that is syndicated nationwide, reaching over 90 million households on cable, satellite, and select broadcast stations, coast to coast. Michelle is one of media's leading lifestyle experts and is a frequent guest on TV shows, radio shows, magazine interviews, red carpets, and live events. Michelle is also the co-founder of Animal Angels, a nonprofit advocacy group where celebrities promote pet health and adoptions. Welcome, Michelle.
Hi, Ron and Lisa. It's so great to see you virtually. Thank you so much for having me today.
Well, so look at that setup you have. Oh my God, you just wake up and this is all just, there's no clutter. But
She's full of hair and makeup and a beautiful tabletop. And wow, if you're listening to the podcast, head on over to the YouTube so you can see all this, because we're going to be getting into this today, some of the stuff that we're going to be talking about, solutions. But welcome, Michelle. It is so great to have you. We're really excited to meet, at least virtually today, and pick your brain on a lot of this that we're going to go over with sustainable living.
I am so excited. And we are actually in my own home right now. Yeah. I'm in what was my dining room. And our home is not a LEED home because it wasn't built ground up. This is an older home that we actually made green ourselves. So I'm excited to talk to you about it.
I love that. I think that's really important. We're in this exact same boat, Michelle, with our home. We didn't build it from the ground up. And so we just did the changes that we could do with what we had. And I think so many people are in that boat, especially the listeners. I mean, we're not all building multi-million-dollar green dream homes. These tips are really practical, what we're going to go over today, because they're going to apply to everybody, no matter where you are, where you're living, and really what your budget is. So I want to get started. And can you share with our listeners what biggest celebrity home wellness trends you're seeing right now?
Well, there are so many. And obviously, how you kind of started the show today, green is just taking off. I'm so excited to see it. I think what's really happened is a couple of things, is that over the pandemic, we've all spent more time in our homes. And we're also kind of getting the correlation between what's going on in our homes, in our environment, and how that affects our health. And there's so many ways. And one thing people don't realize is that so much of the toxins we're exposed to are right here in our own homes.
Right.
So we really want to use these great home trends and bring them into our own lives. And one of the things that I like about the celebrity trends is they get a lot of attention.
Yeah,
You
right.
know, if you look at someone like Leonardo DiCaprio,
Right.
he's
The poster child.
Dropping.
The poster child for celebrity green living.
Exactly. Now, he may be on a multi-million-dollar scale, but a lot of the things that he likes to do, we can do ourselves.
Right.
And one of them is, of course, he happens to have a couple of LEED platinum residences. So like you were saying, Lisa, we all can't have a LEED platinum residence.
Right.
Which would be wonderful.
I know, especially in California, right?
Exactly. Most of us are buying a home that it's not brand new, which is more environmentally friendly. But we want our home environment to be really, really, just as clean as it can be. And not only in the visual sense, but in terms of the chemicals we're exposing ourselves to, the materials. So a lot of the home trends are taken from these LEED celebrity homes, one of which is bamboo flooring or using something like cork, something that is renewable and sustainable. So that's really a big home trend. And I think when you're going into homes right now as a remodeling, you're seeing a lot of that in the flooring. And definitely, especially here in California, using no VOC paints.
Yeah.
Think about how many chemicals are getting into your home environment if you're breathing in those volatile organic compounds.
Right.
So that's another big home trend.
Yeah. And that's a great point, Michelle. A lot of people are getting low VOC, but with the regulations getting more stringent, especially in California and bigger cities, the paints are being sold with lower VOCs than they used to have. But it's really important to just get the 0 VOC, because all the manufacturers really offer that now. And there's kind of no excuse. You're not sacrificing performance anymore like you used to.
And at the same time, people don't realize that if you have allergies, it's all connected. The no VOC paint is not only going to help you from exposure to toxins that you may not realize you're getting, but it's going to help your allergies, and it doesn't have that horrible smell. So when you're painting your house, you don't have to get out of it for a week.
Right, exactly. Yeah, that new home smell that people think is so fresh and clean and wonderful is really just chemicals. That's my journey. I got sick from a newly remodeled home, and I thought it was great. I thought it was amazing to have all these newly remodeled parts of the home. Turns out it made me severely ill. And we have to remember that association isn't positive. It's actually negative. Those chemicals are a negative smell. And if you smell them, you're inhaling them and breathing them in.
And that's what I try and say to people about being green and sustainable. Every single thing is connected.
Yeah.
So if it's bad for the environment, it's usually bad for us.
Right.
Yeah. So we just, have to keep the connection going and let people see it. And right now, I think, especially with what happened with gas prices because of the pipeline, people are seeing, hey, I drive a Prius or I drive an electric vehicle. This isn't going to affect me. So it's just all these things we're seeing how important this is. But kind of getting back to our
that's a great point. Like your house is an extension of your body. Like I've heard it called, your other skin, right? Your other layer. And so I think that's a great way to look at it, because it really is the place we spend the most time, 90% of our time indoors. And so think about, a lot of people just don't pay attention to this kind of stuff, the flooring, the paint, things that, that you're spending so much time around.
Exactly. And also keep in mind with your cleaning products, believe it or not, it's a celebrity trend. I doubt they clean their own houses, but because so many of them have their own product lines. Right. So that kind of makes it a trend now, because they're getting involved with these green cleaning product companies. Yeah. And that's what you want to use in your own home. You don't want to be spraying, again, toxic chemicals that while you're cleaning, you're inhaling, or if someone else is cleaning your house, they stay there. So, using green cleaning products is a very inexpensive way that we can help ourselves and help the environment at the same time.
Because do you have any favorites that you like personally that you use in your house?
I use an assortment. I'm a big fan, I hate to say it, of just like the 365
Yeah.
Okay.
products.
Yeah, that's
Okay, yeah.
They're very good. I like
Yeah.
Mrs. Myers.
Yeah.
I like some Method, a little of
Yeah.
this, a little of that.
I'm like you, Michelle. I'm the exact same. It's like a cornucopia of brands, for sure. Cause like, oh, I like the wood polish in this brand, but I like the floor cleaner in this brand. So you kind of pick and choose. But I think it's kind of shocking today that we even have toxic cleaners still available with the amount of natural green brands out there, and even unhealthy brands that have their green line, right? You have a lot of the big juggernauts that came out with their sustainable lines. So these aren't more expensive. They're readily available. There's really no reason to be cleaning with toxic cleaners anymore.
And Windex makes a green cleaner that's made out of vinegar. I love
Yeah.
it. You just buy it at your local grocery store. It's super easy.
Yeah.
I
Or
didn't know
make your
they did.
own.
Do they really? They make they
Oh,
make
Windex.
that's
They have a
hilarious.
vinegar cleaner.
They took out the fragrance and the coloring probably. And Ren and I make our own. We just do vinegar and water, and we put in some essential oil, and talk about like very inexpensive and
It's a great
very,
like
very
produce cleaner
effective.
too. Are you kidding me? Like cleaning the produce and then I clean the windows
Yeah.
afterwards.
Yeah, it's like a one-stop shop. It's like one bottle. We use it for everything. Yeah, vinegar is amazing. And a lot of people go, oh, but the vinegar smell. Well, just throw in a few drops of essential oil and you've just cut the smell, and it works like amazing.
And it's so inexpensive.
Yeah,
That's
so
another thing
inexpensive.
too. It doesn't have to be, that's why I was saying the 365 products and the Method products are great because they're either generic or Method you can buy at Target and it's very inexpensive. So it doesn't have to be really expensive. And if you don't feel like, mixing vinegar or using baking soda, if you want to buy a product, they're just so easy to get and good
Yeah.
for you and great. And I think a lot of them include the essential oils. They have a
Yeah.
really amazing smell, which I find the commercial products sometimes can be perfumey.
Oh, so perfumey, right? They're nauseating because they really are using synthetic fragrances. And as we know, those synthetic fragrances can hide hundreds of chemicals. So under that one word, right, on the ingredient label. So yeah, it's always better to stick with what grandma used to clean with, go back to the basics, whether you buy it. And I like your point there because not everybody does have time to whip up a cleaner and make their own. So, go out and buy the healthy brand and support.
It's hard enough to get the time to clean.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. Yep.
Like a workout. So going from health to sustainability, can you shed some light on how sustainability factors into some of these trends? You mentioned that you had bamboo flooring, right?
Yes.
Is that a trend or is that just a personal taste that you have now?
That is a big trend. Well, just sustainable flooring in general,
Yeah.
using materials that are sustainable. If people are using wood, a lot of times it's reclaimed or repurposed wood. The bamboo is obviously very quick growing. So
Right.
that's one of the reasons why I like it. You can get it all different shades. We kind of went with, what I consider your normal bamboo look. For the people who are watching on YouTube, you can see I have this
Yeah.
beautiful kind of creamy flooring. Obviously the gray is really popular right now, but you can find that in a lot of different materials. But I also really like the look of the reclaimed flooring as well.
Yes. Uh-huh.
You want to make sure, if you've ever been to where they're cutting down forests, for lumber, and you see how valuable it is to have materials like bamboo, that you can go ahead and cut it and it's going to grow up like a weed.
Yeah. Doesn't it grow like 3 feet per day? Maybe that's even an underestimation.
It's
I know.
crazy. It's
Something
actually, if you
crazy.
plant it can even be invasive in your yard. That's how quick it grows.
Right.
Wow.
They say to keep it in a box if you're growing it in your home yard.
You've got to stop. Oh, that's funny. You're right. I mean, I'm seeing your floors. They're gorgeous. I think nowadays you can get that in every color, right? When they first came out, it was like kind of more natural, but I think now you can get it in darker woods too, right?
Oh,
If you
yes.
stain them
Yes. We
or
had a
whatever.
variety of colors to choose from.
You did.
I
Okay.
had these floors a few years back.
Yeah. And what would you say to people who ask, what about the formaldehyde? That became a real big issue with imported bamboo, right? That was coming from China that was laced with formaldehyde.
Ours does not have any formaldehyde, and you just want to make sure it says formaldehyde free. We actually knew the person we got the bamboo from. And so, everything was certified and we knew we were getting something without formaldehyde. And you
Right.
can actually get it so it's interlocking, so you don't have to use a glue on the floor if you don't want to.
Okay, that's a great tip because a lot of toxins are hidden in those adhesives and those sealants and all of that. So, yeah, great.
Yeah, and that's an option with a lot of flooring right now.
Yeah. So bamboo flooring, and bamboo is actually, no, it's actually cork. Cork is another sustainable. You mentioned that earlier. I've even seen that cork is being used in insulation, home insulation.
Oh,
Using
yes, they
cork.
have a
Yeah.
lot of really fun new insulation options too. They have insulation that's made from recycled jeans.
Yes. Isn't that
I love
incredible?
that.
I know. Yep. I think that's stellar because there's so much clothes that go to the landfill. Oh my gosh. I don't know the tons every year, but it's an astronomical number. And how neat to feel like you wore your jeans, you're done. Now you're going to upcycle them and they're going to be part of your or someone's home insulation. I think that's really, really cool.
And
And
Michelle,
that's another big trend is the upcycling. I'm glad you hit on that because not necessarily buying new and just revamping older, pieces of furniture and things like that, recovering them instead of sending your old furniture to the landfill. That's
Right.
one way you can save money and be sustainable.
Yes. Reupholster, anything that begins with right? Refinish an old piece of furniture, hand me down, go to Salvation Army and places like that. We had an interior designer we interviewed, and she really talked about how those pieces too kind of become like the statement pieces of your home because they really do have that character to them and they have the unique shapes, and they're not so cookie cutter like you see with a lot of newer modern furniture.
And even the modern furniture, you can recover it.
You
So you
can
can keep your modern furniture looking great. Because I tend to like a cleaner look and more modern furniture. You just recover it and it keeps on going.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a great tip. Okay.
Do you have any good examples in your home? Now, I know we're looking at your beautiful layout there. Is there anything in particular that you can think of that you've upped?
Well, our sofas that we have here, now you can only kind of see the back of them. They're made with eight-way hand-tied construction.
Oh, okay.
So they use less harmful materials and the cushions have recycled foam in them.
Oh, nice. Okay, very good.
So we made sure when we got these sofas and the furnishings we did have, we sold.
Nice.
We
Okay.
upcycled those as well.
Yeah.
And I'm always happy to upcycle my clothes with my girlfriends.
Yes, working wardrobes. I'm going to give working wardrobes a plug. I have a huge stack because I just cleaned out my closet, and I have a huge stack of especially with a lot of us not going into offices anymore. Think of all those like business style clothes that we're really just not wearing. Well, Working Wardrobes is a great organization that takes all of that for people underprivileged who are getting back out into the workforce and need clothes for interviews. I think it's really amazing. But yeah, you can sell your clothes online now. There's Poshmark and ThreadUp and all of these places where you load the bag, you mail it in, and then they give you like a total. They'll say, okay, Michelle, your bag is worth $100. Well, you got money. Someone else is going to enjoy the clothes. It's such a full cycle. I love it.
And a lot of really talented people will actually take those clothes and restyle them. And I love vintage clothes. So I have clothes that I've purchased at vintage shops from the 1960s. A lot of them need some work.
Yeah.
But they look amazing and they don't have fabrics like that anymore. These are fabrics
really cool.
that stood up all this time.
Wow. Now, do you sew? Are you a sewer or you just have them?
No,
okay.
I have to go have someone who knows what they're doing too. And I wish that was a talent that I had. I do not.
Me too. It's kind of becoming a lost art. So shout out to all the sewers out there. But
I know.
Michelle, we have a caller. Are you open to taking a question?
Oh, sure. Yes.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I thought you were talking to the caller.
Oh, okay. Matt, welcome to the show. And what is your question for Michelle today?
Hey, thanks, Lisa. Long time listener, first time caller.
Oh, excellent. We're happy to have you.
What are some of your personal design trends that you have going on right now? Like, I follow you both. I follow Ron and Lisa and you on Facebook, and sometimes I get a glimpse, but what are your personal design trends?
Well, personally, I like clean. So for people who see on YouTube, you will notice that, yes, we've done everything so that we feel comfortable in our home. And that's how I feel the most comfortable. Now, that said, not every room stays perfectly organized, but just in my design choices, we kept it simple. In terms of art, we have some really fun art, but I call art wall jewelry.
Oh, yeah.
So I feel like we just have enough. not so much that you feel distracted in your home. You just want it clean, sleek. And that's regardless if you're doing a modern style, if you're doing something that, you're incorporating antiques, anything like that, you can still follow having cleaner lines, just so when you come into your house, you're like, oh, this is great. And I feel relaxed and I don't have tons of things everywhere. So that's one of the things that I really like in terms of design. And I also like to keep it basic in color and then let, our plants and our art kind of be the pops of color.
We just bought a new home and we are taking out a wall to make it more open. And I'm hearing from designers that open is no longer in. What's your opinion on open floor plans?
I hope open.
I think it depends on your needs. I wouldn't go crazy with your designer. If you like an open floor plan, that's what you should do. But, I mean, don't do your home for a designer. Do it for you. That's what you're going to be living there. So if you want an open floor plan, do it. I don't like to feel closed in. And it also kind of really depends on your ceiling height. Like having high ceilings like we have in these rooms can give you the feeling of more openness without it being incredibly open. But, having a bunch of little cubby hole rooms can feel a little cramped sometimes. So it's really what your needs are. Are you going to have enough privacy in an open floor plan?
Yeah, that's a great tip. And if your kitchen, if you're kind of a person that's not always cleaning up your dishes, maybe you do want that kitchen close it off a little bit, right? If you're not super tidy.
I want no one in my kitchen when I'm cooking. Just like get out of there. So I kind of like to have a little bit of room in the kitchen without everyone around.
Yeah,
so
sometimes that can be a little invasive. Well, Matt, I hope that answered your question.
Well, thank you for having me on. Appreciate
thank you so much.
Thanks, Matt.
Bye-bye.
The biggest takeaway for me was you don't want your house to look like Mr. T, right? You said because it's like jewelry. You don't want to overdo it. You want
not over gold.
You just don't want it to overboard.
Overboard. I agree, Michelle. And I think I love how you said the cleanliness and that serenity crosses every type of design trend, whether it's farmhouse or modern or rustic or whatever. Having a clean, clutter-free space is so important for your mental health. I don't think people realize the mental energy that that clutter can create so much stress when you see those piles and you see all those things. And the more things you have, the more it's going to collect dust. Also, more books and stacks of paper and things like that. They collect dust. And as we know, dust is actually very loaded with toxic chemicals. A little side note here. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the study they did a couple of years ago on dust. It was the first one they've ever done. And they found the average dust sample had 45 toxic chemicals, one linked to cancer. And this was in just the average dust that they took from homes across the US. So dust isn't just, annoying. It's also unhealthy.
Well, and here in Southern California, think about it. Our dust is kind of twofold. A lot of it is coming from auto emissions because most of us live near a freeway.
Right.
So we're actually getting some of that particulate in our homes. We're breathing it. It's in the dust. And then also because we live in a very dry environment.
Yeah.
So, we have actually what people would think of is dust from the air because some of that dirt gets blown around. And again, we're breathing it and it's coming into our homes.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a really good point. I
still love the books. Just have to dust more than I currently do.
Maybe put them in a glass case so you don't have to keep dusting them.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay.
So do you have any more green home elements in your home that you wanted to talk about too? I'm looking at all these beautiful plants. Is there a purpose or meaning behind all of them? Do they have qualities that help maybe purify the air? Anything specific like that?
Well, of course, having real plants in your home does help to purify the air. So that's one of the reasons I have them there. In addition, I like the pop of color. And just personally, I like the feeling of bringing the outdoors inside.
Yeah.
So for me, it's really important. We have pets who aren't here right now. So I make sure that all of my plants aren't toxic to our pets. Or if you have kids, the same thing. You want to make sure you have non-toxic plants, but they're nature's air cleaners.
Yeah.
Nature's air purifiers. So I just like to have a lot of them in the house. And I just feel they add to our quality of life and the quality of the air in our home.
Yeah.
Now, Michelle, your home is spotless. I did not realize you had
No,
pets.
I appreciate that, but it's not.
No dogs, no.
If you were to see my den over there, it'd be a whole different thing.
It's a whole different, everything's shoved in the corner. That's so funny. No, I have a
I
feeling
think that's everyone's house.
that's
But
everyone.
yes, you have like, keep it like this as much as possible. But I do try and keep it as streamlined as possible. But everyone kind of has their little pile.
Everyone has their piles, and no one's immune. And now with so many people telecommuting because of the pandemic, it's even more important, like you said, to bring that nature in and keep it really tidy, because we need that connection to nature. And what I love, what another trend, of course, that we're seeing so much right now is that these outdoor spaces are becoming like indoor spaces, right? I mean, there's just like the area rugs, and now they're hanging artwork on the walls and the beautiful lighting and the throw pillows and the fire pits. And it's really great way to extend your space, so that you can spend more time outdoors and really enjoy it instead of on some rusty lounge chair. you know?
Exactly. And doing green walls inside and outside. That's a great way to improve your outdoor space and your indoor space. I don't have a green wall inside, but it's one of the things I have planned for outside is to put a green wall. I think
Like a plant wall. You mean a plant?
Yes.
Yeah.
A living plant
A
wall.
living plant. They're so amazing, aren't they?
Yes. And I also, most of us, if you live in Southern California, we don't have a very big outdoor area. So I'm a big fan of those aero gardens. And you can get little ones that you can just grow herbs on your windowsill, or you can get something bigger that in a small amount of space, because you're growing vertically, you can actually grow some veggies for yourself.
Yeah, exactly. You can have a garden. I know Ron and I had it's called Click and Grow is the company, and it's a little herb garden with a light built in, and the light extends as the plants grow, and you put it in your kitchen. And you can put tomatoes and peppers, you can do herbs. It's a really great idea. So no matter where you live, if you're in a condo or an apartment, you can do a balcony. What did my friends say? Make a salsa garden on your balcony.
But it's really fun, and you know that it doesn't have anything on it, which is great.
Yeah, you're not spraying it.
Fresh picked.
Yes, right.
When you said green wall, that was so funny. It actually prompted me to think, do you focus, you're a designer, on what color means just psychologically to the space too? I mean, if so, what are some trends that you might know of that are popular now from a color scheme perspective?
For so long, everything's been the gray tones.
Yes, right.
And I think that's going to be going away.
Yeah.
And with the gray tones, again, you're keeping it very simple and clean, and having the pop of color with art, with plants, with accessories, things like that. I'm seeing some blues coming back.
Yeah. I have too. I think
that's really fun.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I'm kind of like, I want to create trends. So I just do what I like and I feel comfortable with.
Right.
Okay,
That's great. Like you had said to the caller. I mean, at the end of the day, I never heard open spaces were, going away, but I mean, I love an open space. I think it makes your home feel bigger, but you make good points on areas that you need privacy. If you have a lot of kids, you don't probably want, you want a little privacy for them in their playroom or whatever. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's all what works for you and what makes you feel good in your home, making your home unique. But I want to switch gears a little into water, which is a very hot topic. Water waste is such an issue, especially with outdoor. For example, just to water a 1/4 acre of lawn takes about 1,400 gallons of water. This is a big problem in most parts of the country. So with this being such a hot topic today, Michelle, can you give our listeners some tips to help people save water both inside and out?
Well, one of the things outdoors, which here in Southern California, you'll see it all the time, is xeriscaping.
Yep. Okay.
So that's really using native plants that don't require a lot of water, using things like rocks and other design features instead of having grass. Yeah. And my dad happens to live in Vegas, and they just made a rule that they can't have any more grass.
Really?
Actually, now I don't know if it's from where he specifically lives in his community, or it's all of Nevada, or just Las Vegas. But again, if you're living particularly in a dry place, it doesn't get a lot of rain like Las Vegas and here in Southern California, we don't want to waste that water on our lawns.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's something that you can do that's really, really great. And also we do get some rain. So if you can either use rain barrels or install an underground water capture system, you can use that. That water won't be potable. You can't drink it, but you can use it in your own lawn.
Is that expensive, Michelle, to do that?
Underground?
The rain barrels are inexpensive.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's like the easy, inexpensive way. You're not going to get as much, obviously, as you would as an underground capture system. But it's a great way to irrigate your house without having to ever, incur any water costs.
Yeah.
Because
we waste
water
so
that
much
you
water
already have
that way.
coming in.
Right.
And, in terms of water use in our homes, of course, we've all heard, take shorter showers, don't take a bath, use a dishwasher instead of running the sink, try and get a water heater that you don't have to run your water so long to get it to heat up, that it comes on instantaneously.
Yeah. The tankless, right? The tankless water heaters.
Yes. Those are all things that we can do to help save water. But one of the most important things that we can do to save water is actually to follow a plant-based diet.
Ooh.
Whoa.
You got everyone on the, you have everyone on this show.
At a tangent here, but I am a vegan, and you save a tremendous amount of water and energy and land usage, and they're clear cutting the Amazon to feed cattle. These are all things that
the methane gas
connected. When we stop using animals for food, it helps the environment so much. It's the number one cause of climate change.
Yes, it is. And if anyone hasn't seen that documentary, Cowspiracy, oh man, some of the stats really blow your mind. Like you just said, we don't realize how much production and resources our food production is taking in. Even if you're not vegan and that feels very extreme for you, going to meatless Mondays, which you can do that a couple days a week, right? You don't have to do that just on Monday. Most people nowadays, when you talk to them, they say, oh, I don't really eat that much red meat anymore, right? And so just kind of weaning off.
Exactly. It just, greatly reducing your consumption or going plant-based, which is really easy. But one of the things I love about being plant-based is that it's also really healthy for us. Yeah. It reduces your risk of a lot of types of cancer. It reduces your risk of heart disease, of diabetes. People who don't eat meat usually have a better body mass index. So it's all this connection. It's going to help the planet and it helps us.
Right. So are you full vegan?
Yes. Okay. I'm fully plant-based.
You are. And we are too.
For a long time, and one of the best decisions I ever made.
Oh yeah. I think
and now thanks to Beyond Burgers, it's like, hey, you missed the beef, you can go and have it because there's Beyond Burgers.
Right.
Isn't that great? I love it too.
You can get anything. Yeah. And our producer, and we're vegan, and so is our producer. And it's really amazing. We've talked about this on other shows. Like, you don't have to sacrifice anymore because anything you want is readily available in a plant-based form nowadays. So.
And yes, it's a whole other show about what I cook, but I make anything that you had with meat, pretty much with meat substitutes that are high in protein and are very clean.
Ooh, we have to have you back and go over recipes because we get bored with our recipes. We get into
one of my favorite things. I'll hook you up.
Okay. Yeah, maybe we could put some links in the show notes to some of your recipes. I think maybe that's the challenge. I don't know if all vegans have, but I know we do, is we run out of creative ideas and we get in a little rut, don't we, Ron, of cooking the same things over and over.
That's true.
Yeah. So
and then once we find something we love, we eat it to death, basically.
Too much of it.
So we eat it multiple days in a row.
Yeah.
I think even people who aren't vegan kind of get in that cycle, because I just find the more I make a recipe, the faster I get at doing it. So it's like, okay, well, I can do this really quick and I'm working late tonight and things like that. But we pretty much make almost anything that we had. I haven't eaten meat since I was 14.
Okay.
So,
yeah. Me, 17 for me. Yeah.
Awesome. So that was a while back.
Not too long, not that long.
Not that long. I'm really only 21. No.
Right.
Nice.
Wow, me too. What are the chances?
It's so you can get like that, but I feel since we eat so many things where I'm replacing meat with other items, like instead of making a beef Wellington, I'm using seitan. And tonight we're having Asian, and I'm going to use this really great meat-free chicken that we love. And like we make a lot of different things that we always had. So it's just, I think everyone gets in that kind of rut, but I'm like, oh my goodness, we eat more things because I'm really inspired to create foods from different, types of food, whether it's, Mexican, Asian, Southern cooking, all of it. We just like to try all of it.
That's fantastic. And I think too, with the lockdowns and everything, because people are spending more time at home, like people are cooking more, right? I know, especially in California, because we had restaurants closed for a lot longer than other states. And so we kind of were forced to cook more. And that's actually been a really fun hobby that a lot of people really weren't doing. It was go from work to here, to here, to here. Gym, we didn't even have our gyms open. So now you're kind of being forced to tap back into some of these like really wonderful, and it's a connection, right? I know like for Ron and I, it's a great thing to do with your spouse or your partner to cook together. It makes your food more enjoyable when you eat it.
Definitely. And you know what's in it, which I like.
Yeah, exactly.
I've been cooking for a long time, but when I go to a restaurant, it's kind of like, okay, I know how to make things, so I know the calories and what's probably in this.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So it makes you more aware on your choices when you go out to eat.
It does, right? And the fact that it's probably not organic most of the time when you're going out, whereas at home you can control that better. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. But organic food is another big trend.
Okay, that's a good point. Would that be so? Let's say someone's hearing this for the first time. It's like a clean slate. What's something where they can just jumpstart and implement some immediate trends that you talked about today, but not feel overwhelmed? Like what would you recommend as a 1, 2, 3, 4-step process to start right now and be like you?
In terms of everything or just plant-based?
I'm sorry, not plant-based. I kind of digressed. I was going into sustainability,
a few things people could do right now.
Well, let's talk about some of the things I have here.
Okay,
let's do it.
These are all trends that you can easily incorporate into your home.
Okay.
And one of them is, if you can believe it, it looks like an everyday towel, but these are organic cotton towels.
Nice.
And they're from a wonderful new line at Bed Bath & Beyond called Haven.
Okay, nice.
And
I'm gonna put that in the show notes.
You can't really, obviously you can't feel it, but besides being organic, which is much better for you, these are the softest towels ever.
Oh, okay.
So I just love them. And so it's an easy thing you can do. It's an organic, sustainable product, and you can just incorporate it right into your own home. And
Michelle, do those come in a variety of colors? I see you have.
Yes, I have. Okay. You can't see them, but I have some that are like a cream. There's a variety of colors. I happen to like the white because it feels very spa-like.
Yeah. Okay. That's
and
awesome.
Yes, but they do come in a variety of colors.
Okay. And sizes.
And then this is also from Bed Bath & Beyond. And this is a fun trend to kind of give your home a little bit more of a Zen feeling. It's a pure Himalayan rock salt lamp combined with an aromatherapy diffuser.
Ooh,
excellent.
What I like about this is it's on already. Oh, did I turn it on?
All those negative ions, and it smells so good.
So yes, the Himalayan rock salt lamps help to give you energy. They purify the air. And then you just add water into the top here. And I just have some essential oils. Like you were saying, in cleaning, you can just put them right in here and your whole house will naturally smell wonderful.
Right.
And that's a big trend we're seeing, not only with aromatherapy oils used in diffusers and things like this, but you can also find it. They're adding it, a celebrity trend, adding it into your shower.
Oh, yes. Okay. I've been seeing that. We actually just got a brand new Moen shower, which we love, that uses an aerator like all the new low flow shower heads do. And the aerator technology gives you the feeling that you're getting a lot of water pressure. But the one that we just got actually uses 45% less water. And
That's amazing.
yeah, it's amazing because you can't feel it at all. It feels actually like more pressure than what I had before. It has 2 heads, and then it has these little aromatherapy capsules that you can add. So yeah, that's a
Now we
great
just need Haven towels to like complement the spa experience, right?
yeah.
Yes.
Get out of
Yes.
your
It's
shower.
about
100%.
kind of something that's been a theme, not only being sustainable, and being organic, but that feeling you want to have in your home. And we've all been in our home a lot. It's kind of giving you a little bit of a spa feeling in your own home.
Yeah. Don't you feel like we're just going to get to a point where we don't even leave our homes? Because we're getting gyms in our homes, we're cooking, we're at our spas now.
We're doing it all here. And
We're
then
doing it all. It's like one-stop shop.
this has been a trend for a long time. And Lisa, I don't know if you've seen these before.
I don't think so. No.
This is a Vita Jewel water bottle, and
Okay.
it's a glass reusable water bottle, which of course I go everywhere with my reusable water bottle hanging out of my bag.
Oh, nice.
Good.
Yeah.
So I have a giant bag with a water bottle coming out of it. But this Vita Jewel water bottle, it actually has crystals in it. And I just liked it because it was pretty, but the crystals help to give you more of that spa feeling. And this one's for love. I
Right.
think it's really fun.
Wait, that is so neat. Where did you get that? Is that something you order direct?
It's something I got online.
You got
It's
online. Okay.
Vita-
Because we did a podcast on frequency medicine and about the energy, like, and so water that's infused with certain words and energy and through crystals, because we know crystals hold energy, right? Crystals hold, you can encode crystals with messages. So is that what they did? Like when you said that one's love, did they encode that with the word love? And so when your water goes in there, it's picking up that frequency?
I don't know. I just know that they're crystals designed to help promote feelings of love and well-being.
That's really neat. We'll definitely put a link to that.
And that's a huge celebrity trend, by the way. Like celebrities are kind of gobbling these water bottles up.
Yeah. Well, good. We could use some more love in Hollywood.
But it also helps to reduce the waste you get from using plastic water bottles.
Right.
And it's glass, so it's healthy for you. So there's like a lot of good things about all this.
Yeah.
Good question, Michelle. Is that glass really, is it hard? I mean, what if you took it to the gym, or is it not going to break if it falls a short distance?
Well, considering how clumsy I am, I'm being very careful. It's glass.
It's
so
glass.
they
Ron's
do
like,
have
is it hard?
plastic
No, Ron, it's a soft
attachment.
glass.
Well, you know how it is. Well, we have, so sometimes they're so strong at the base. Never mind.
We have one. Well, we have a glass one that has like a rubber casing on the outside.
Yes, I've seen those, and yes,
Yeah.
it's still breakable. Another plug for the bamboo. When I do drop things, it fares much better than when I had tile.
Okay.
right.
In my kitchen, usually you'd hear this drop followed by like a scream. It's
Yeah.
just like, okay, maybe a splatter, but most of the time my stuff isn't breaking. So that's been a bonus for me. I'm very happy.
Yeah, that's another bonus.
But this does come with a rubber handle so you can carry it with you.
Oh, okay. That's nice. And then what was the name of the diffuser again? That looks so pretty.
This is Pure, and it's also from Bed Bath & Beyond.
Oh, wow. It's beautiful too. For those of you
That's
listening.
one of the things that I was attracted to, is that it was not only an aromatherapy diffuser combined with a Himalayan rock salt lamp. It's like, wow.
Yeah. What else can you put in there?
The glow is so cool.
It's gorgeous. That's a great housewarming gift for somebody.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, our producer.
Good idea.
Our
This is
producer.
whole other podcast. We're gonna have to like do 3 more of these just to talk about housewarming gifts and
Yeah.
recipes.
Yeah. Just forget the wine. Bring a rock salt, Himalayan rock.
I remember reading a lot of Himalayan salt rocks. Aren't they like 200 million years old or something?
Yeah.
Just ancient, right?
The caves are. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They are, I don't know exactly the age, but that's one of the things that makes them so effective, is that this is kind of like something that people brought from ancient times, is a Himalayan rock salt.
Yeah.
And we're just now revitalizing that.
Right. And so many of the things, really, if you think about it, all the things that you're showing here today, the organic is what we used to have before we had pesticides on our towels. The Himalayan rock, that's so old, as Ron just mentioned. And then essential oils. I mean, they go back 2,000 years, right?
And they're so amazing and have so many benefits.
So many
these
benefits.
essential oils. Like I love peppermint. So I have a peppermint oil here, but peppermint can help create feelings of happiness and have you energized.
Right.
And lavender is probably the oil I use the most. And not only in an aromatherapy diffuser, but in products, because it helps you feel relaxed.
Right.
So like in my Bath and Body products and my shower gel and moisturizer, I love lavender.
Lavender is just a go-to. I agree. And a lot of people don't realize that they're not just good smelling, they're therapeutic essential oils. So yeah, you can inhale depending on the oil. You get the benefits via inhalation or maybe sometimes putting it on your skin, and even some ingesting, like peppermint. Some of them you can ingest, but you got to be careful and make sure you're doing that correctly.
And they do have, you don't want to eat lavender yourself, but they do have calming lavender supplements and teas.
Yeah, that's a good point. We visited a lavender farm and they made lavender ice cream and lavender lemonade and lavender scones. And so, yeah, you
Yes,
can
there's
cook with it,
culinary
right?
lavender.
Culinary lavender. Yeah. Okay, that's a great point. Wow, this was so fun. What would you leave our listeners with right now? Or they're going to end the podcast, and what can they do right now? What's one or two things that they should definitely do to change their life for the healthier?
Well, I think one of the big takeaways from what we talked about today is eating less meat will be the most profound thing you can do for your own health and for the environment.
That's a great one.
So that's a big takeaway. And, let's watch your consumption. When you are having to paint your house, when you are replacing things, keep that in mind. It's going that way anyhow. It's super easy. We can all save water today.
Yes.
We can all do things to help the planet today. So, that's one thing that we can do, and keep in mind that connection. Because again, if you're not using toxic chemicals, it's better for your health and it's better for the environment. If you're not using a lot of pesticides on your lawn, if those pesticides are killing things outside, what kind of effect do you think it has on you? So just, get natural cleaners, use vinegar, use baking soda, but we can start today. And you know what? It feels so empowering.
Yeah, it does. You're right. You're taking your power back, and you're leaving a better world, not just for you today, but for the future generations, and something that a lot of people don't think about, so that's great. I love that. And on the lawn thing, these AstroTurf type, what am I trying to say? These artificial grass companies now have very sustainable products, and they look and feel really gorgeous. I remember growing up in Arizona, we had some AstroTurf on our back because we were not going to have a lawn in my little desert town that I grew up in. And everybody had it in their backyards, and it was hard and scratchy and just horrible. But now they're thick. They look like grass. I mean, a lot of times you walk up and you go, is that real grass? Oh, no, it's not. So that's a great way if you still want that green look or a place to play in the backyard without bringing in water hogging grass.
Exactly. There's so many things we can do. And the great thing is that when I say it makes you feel better health-wise, it does, but it makes you feel better here.
Yeah.
And that you're doing something positive for yourself and for the environment.
Yeah, that's amen. Amen to that, Michelle.
Amen. Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you so much. This was fabulous. And friends, head over to Alive and, spelled out A&D, aliveandwell.tv to learn more. All of the links that we talked about will be in the show notes at ronandlisa.com/podcast.
And remember, don't settle for untested and unregulated goods for you, your family, or your planet. You can, and you do, make a difference.
Tune in next week to find out what the heck is going on in your home. Until then, bye, friends.
Bye, everyone. Take care.
Bye, Michelle.
Bye. Thank you.
This episode of the Healthy Home Hacks podcast has ended, but be sure to subscribe for more healthy living strategies and tactics to help you create the healthy home you've always dreamed of. And don't forget to rate and review so we can continue to bring you the best content. See you on the next episode.